Hello and welcome to the Center of Excellence training series on TAK. This will be a two-part series on the ATAK plugin UAS tool. In this tutorial, we will cover how to install ATAK and UAS tool onto your ATAK-compatible UAS controller. In the next video, we will cover how to register for a video lease and set up live video streaming in ATAK through UAS tool. In its simplest form, UAS Tool is a plugin for the Android version of TAK. UAS Tool allows for the user to operate many common civilian and military-grade UAS systems while using the advanced situational awareness features of ATAK. UAS Tool does this by leveraging the software development kits, or SDKs, of these drones. An SDK is a software library that allows third-party apps such as the UAS Tool to control the drone's functions, rather than the original app that came with the drone. For example, in this demonstration, we will use the ATAK plugin UAS Tool to pilot a DJI M4T, rather than the DJI Fly app that would otherwise be used. UAS Tool also allows for operators to share mission-critical data about their UAS through TAK to other users. This includes UAS location, field of view overlay, and full motion video streaming. Even if you are not acting as a drone pilot, UAS Tool can be a useful plugin for ATAK, as it allows you to view the battery life and other telemetry from the UAS and submit requests to the UAS pilot to control the drone camera or even set waypoints for the drone to automatically fly to. All TAK app users who are on the same channel as the drone pilot will be able to view basic information on the position of the drone, where its camera is looking, and access the drone's live video even if they are on ITAK or do not have the UAS Tool plugin for ATAK. We will cover installing ATAK and UAS Tool on an ATAK-compatible UAS remote controller. In this example, I'll be using the DJI RC Plus alongside the DJI M4T. There are several drone systems that are compatible with ATAK and UAS Tool. For definitive guidance on compatibility, please refer to the Features Supported in UAS Tool by Make and Model document located on the Downloads page of COTAK.gov. For the purposes of this video, I will be downloading the files directly onto the controller from the pre-installed web browser. Please note that you can get the same result by using a computer and downloading the files onto an SD card or USB drive and transferring them onto the controller, as some GCS models do not have a web browser. Begin by navigating to COTAK.gov and logging in. Once logged in, navigate to the Resources and Downloads. If the drop-down menus do not respond on the web browser, type COTAK.gov/pages/downloads. Then scroll down to the UAS Tools section and download the ATAK installer, UAS Tool plugin, and Colorado DTED files. Digital Terrain Elevation Data, or DTED, is critical for flying in the UAS Tool. Once these have been downloaded, navigate to the Files application and open your Downloads folder. Only open the ATAK file. This will begin your installation. Once the app finishes downloading, open ATAK. Accept all agreements and permissions, then connect to the COTAK server and create your call sign identity. If you are unfamiliar with this process, please refer to the ATAK Getting Started tutorial. Once you reach the main map screen, open the hamburger menu and scroll down to Import. Select Local SD, then navigate to the Downloads folder. Select the ATAK plugin and co-DTED files. Select Move as your import strategy. If you get an ATAK security message, take the redirection to the ATAK settings and allow installation from this source. Allow UAS Tool to be installed. After the install is complete, you will be asked if you would like to load the plugin. Select OK. You will then be prompted to download supplemental UAS Tool flying applications. In this case, I will select ATAK Go V5. If you are using a DJI system, you will be prompted to open ATAK Go. If you are unsure of which version to download, you may download both and UAS Tool will open the appropriate application when you are ready to fly. If you are not flying a DJI platform, you may decline DJI Go and check the Do Not Ask Again checkbox. Now, I will open the application, accept all permissions, and ensure that the Enable Local Data Mode is checked. In the corner of the ATAK Go program is a place to log into your DJI account. This was important for geofencing reasons, but now no longer is important. Select Return to UAS Tool in the bottom left corner of the DJI application. You will likely be prompted with a post-installation pop-up. If you haven't experienced any issues during the installation, select OK. Finally, select Zipped DTED directories as your import method for the DTED zip file. Open the hamburger menu in ATAK, then scroll down to UAS Tool. Acknowledge the warning, then tap the plus button under the red X. Click the bar that says None Selected and scroll through the list to find your UAS platform. In this case, I will select DJI V5. If you are using a DJI system, you'll be prompted to open ATAK Go or DJI Go V5. Open the application and ensure that the Enable Local Data Mode is checked. Then return to the UAS tool. If your drone is on, it should appear under Network UAS with a blue background. You may see other drones appear in this list if they are being operated in UAS Tool on the same channels as you. Primarily, this function is to permit other users with UAS Tool installed on their device to view the AR feed just as the drone operator sees, as well as other telemetry data on the drone. Now tap on your UAS name and select the gear wheel. This is where you can configure critical flying settings such as flight restrictions, fail-safe behavior, and flight assistance. We always recommend that these settings are checked before flying. Tap the back arrow to return to the Network UAS page. Select the play button next to the drone's name, and now you are ready to operate your drone in UAS Tool. Before taking off, we recommend that you close out of all open applications on your GCS, including ATAK. Open your native flying app. For me, this would be DJI Pilot 2. Perform your designated pre-flight checklist in the OEM application and ensure that all issues and warnings are resolved. Once you have completed the pre-flight checklist, it is crucial to close out of the native flight app before attempting to use the UAS tool. Failure to do this may inject unexpected behavior during flight operations. Close out of the native flight software and reopen ATAK and UAS tool. Select the play button and proceed with flight. At this stage, you will be sharing your location, the drone's field of view, and the drone's center point of interest with all users on the same channel as you. However, please be advised that your controller must be connected to the internet in order to share data to other TAK users. One option is to turn a phone into a hotspot or have a dedicated hotspot for this capability. Otherwise, only the drone operator can see the feed and will not be able to take advantage of UAS Tool's capabilities in viewing other TAK users. If non-connected flying is the only option, consider reverting to the native flight app. I will now briefly run through the main flying tools available to you. We highly recommend that you refer back to the UAS Tool user guide for definitive guidance and clarification of flight tools available to you. See link below. To begin, we recommend turning on the augmented reality feature to overlay TAK dots on your camera's view. To do this, tap the hamburger menu located within the UAS Tool top toolbar. Tap Video Overlays and select the checkbox next to Show AR. Please note that the UAS must have ample distance between itself and the TAK user for the AR functionality to display properly. Refer back to the top toolbar of UAS Tool. The furthest left back arrow will return you back to the Network UAS page. When you are not in flight, you will see a green circle icon that says Go. This button will open the Take Off Now menu. If you are ready to launch the UAS, you may set the desired altitude that you want the UAS to ascend to once it launches. Finally, select Take Off Now, and the UAS should ascend and hover at your selected altitude. Conversely, you may launch your UAS as you normally would on DJI platforms, that is by moving both joysticks down and inwards. Once the UAS is in flight, the Go icon will change to an icon of a gauge. This is the Set Altitude tool. Click the icon and set the desired altitude with the slider bar. Then select Set Altitude. The UAS will then ascend or descend to the correct altitude and hover. Next to the Go/Set Altitude icon is the emergency stop function. This is indicated by a pause sign and is used to terminate any task that the UAS is currently executing. Selecting this function will open a prompt to prevent accidental termination. Functions affected by emergency stop include quick tasks, routes, and quick altitude. For DJI, this button is not synonymous with the pause button on the physical DJI GCS. Please note that emergency stop does not stop manual controls. The time it takes for the UAS to execute an emergency stop varies based on the platform. To the right of the emergency stop icon is the Return to Home function. Selecting this function will activate the UAS native Return to Home function. To the right of Return to Home is the Quick Task function. Quick Task is a simple routing function that commands the UAS to a new location without requiring a route to be established. Quick Task has two options: Go Now and Orbit. After selecting the Quick Task function, tap a location on the map where the UAS should travel to or orbit. Selecting Go Now commands the UAS to immediately take off, if not already, and go to the specified location. Selecting Orbit gives an additional window to specify the orbit radius around the specified location. Both functions make the UAS maintain its current altitude. Note that gimbal orientation by default is set to look towards the action point. To look at other locations, use the gimbal controls within the UAS tool or on the physical GCS. Finally, to the right of the Quick Task function is the Follow Me function. When the user selects the Follow Me button within UAS tool, the aircraft will maintain its standoff from its current range and bearing to the user's self-marker. If you wish to learn more about the Follow Me function, please refer to the user guide. Now that we have covered the top quick flight toolbar, I will quickly cover a couple of the bottom tools and icons. Each platform will have different tools and icons at the bottom of the UAS tool. For definitive guidance on each feature, please refer to the UAS tool user guide. The leftmost tool is the Gimbal Camera Control tool. Select the Gimbal Control button to open the Gimbal Control toolbar, zoom function, and pan/tilt sliders. Lastly, on the far right of the bottom toolbar is the screen switcher. Tap the picture-in-picture icon to switch to a full screen view of the UAS camera. Next to the gimbal control is the Drone Utilities menu. Select the Drone Utilities icon to access gimbal controls, broadcast video, map shot, record video, and platform settings. If you would like to broadcast full motion video streaming for other users on ATAK to access, you must proceed to the next video, which will cover setting up a video lease on the COTAK video server. This concludes our ATAK tutorial on the UAS tool, powered by the Colorado Department of Public Safety and the DFPC Center of Excellence for Advanced Technology Aerial Firefighting. Thanks for watching.